Hi, I'm Ray Young. I'm an emeritus professor from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and I'm going to be giving a brief history of Thessaloniki and the Thessaloniki area. I spent a sabbatical year at the Aristotelian University in Thessaloniki, and I became very enthralled with the complex history of the city, particularly the fact that it was the home of the three monotheistic religions of the world, Orthodox Christianity, Sephardic Judaism, and Turkish Muslim. So I'd like to relate some of this history today in a series of lectures. I've broken down my presentations into 7 parts. I'll start with an introduction today in the Hellenistic era, then the Roman occupation, the Byzantine era, and then the long Ottoman occupation of 500 years and the arrival of the Sephardic Jews. Then a period of turmoil, a series of wars, the Balkan Wars, World War I, World War II, and the Greek Civil War, and finally the modern city. The city of Thessaloniki sits in the north in the Macedonian region. You can see Athens farther in the south of Greece. And Greece is bordered by Albania, Macedonia, Bulgaria, and to the east significantly Turkey. And you should remember that the city of Istanbul was once named Constantinople during the Byzantine times and Byzantium during the Roman times. And you can see that the Thessaloniki exists on the Gulf, the Thermaic Gulf of the Aegean Sea. And you'll notice that the city is sort of oriented southwest. So actually you can have a view of Mount Olympus directly from the upper city. And this is shown here. This is a view of Mount Olympus from the Anapoli, or upper city of Thessaloniki, and the beautiful Olympic mountain range. Thessaloniki is also called Salonika in English, and it was named after the half-sister of Alexander the Great, who was also the princess of Macedon. And the city was founded in 315 BC by the agglomeration of a number of villages in the area. The city is also referred to as the joint queen of cities with Constantinople. It was Selanik under the Turkish occupation, and also referred to as New Jerusalem because of the large population of Sephardic Jews in the city, and then the city of ghosts, as you will see. I've shown a depiction of ancient Thessaloniki, and here I want to show you how the city is geographically oriented. It's on a steep incline, or a small mountain or large hill, with the Acropolis at the top and an upper city. And it's a walled city, and many of these walls remain in the city today. And of course, it goes right down to the harbor of the Thermaic Gulf. In the lower slide, you can see that on the bottom right is the White Tower, which was erected in the 15th century by the Turks for harbor defenses, and it still exists there today. Okay, this is a flat map of the city. You can see the Acropolis at the top. The dark lines show the walls around the city originally. And you can see also all these little depictions of different monuments of the city. They're scattered all throughout the city, and they were established during different eras, the Romans, the Byzantines, and the Turkish Muslim occupation. And we'll be discussing these monuments in the city as we discuss the history of Thessaloniki. Okay, here's the eras that I'll be talking about. The Hellenistic era today was about 150 years. Then the Roman occupation from BC into 329. The Byzantine era, which was the longest of 1,000 years. And then the long period of 500 years of Ottoman occupation, 1430 to 1912. And then that period of turmoil that I mentioned from 1912 to 1949. Only 37 years, but it had a profound impact on the demographics of the city. The Balkan Wars, World War I, World War II, and the Greek Civil War, ending in 1949. Okay, the Greek influence around the Mediterranean was significant from the 8th to the 3rd centuries. All the way, there are colonies all the way to the Iberian Peninsula, the Black Sea, and down to the area what is now Egypt today. So many of these colonies, there's ruins of the period of Greek occupation around the Mediterranean. And here's what Macedonia looked like in those times. It was much more expansive. Went all the way down even south of Larissa, and you can see Philippi was a major city in this period of time. And so Macedonia was a major major empire during this period of time, during the Hellenistic period. The Hellenistic period, of course, encompassed Alexander the Great, his great conquest to the east. It ended with his death in 329 BC. He was only 32 years old, but he had gone all the way to India, where he died, and as a result of this lack of power and a power struggle, these conquests from Greece were later returned to the original countries. So this area of influence was only for a rather short period of time. And as I mentioned, this ended the Hellenistic period. So from this period on, we have the Roman period of time from 168 BC to 329 of 500 years. And I will be discussing the Roman occupation in my second lecture in this series on the brief history of Thessaloniki. Thank you very much.